Hello there everybody, welcome back to another video, and today I will be ranking the first 12 episodes of TPOT. Spoilers for TPOT 12 ahead if you haven't seen it yet. Anyways, just a reminder, I'm trying to hit my sub goal of 200 by August and we are 30 away, so if you are here and watch to the end, don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, let's jump in with TPOT 1, which had a lot of people ready to watch, and overall it was a pretty good introduction to TPOT in general, but other than that it was okay. Now TPOT 2, and didn't this episode keep us waiting for like a year? Either way, the episode was pretty enjoyable to watch, and it introduced Teardrop to the show as well, and I'm pretty sure it was the longest episode, right? One way or another it was one of my favorite episodes, so it deserves an A. The third was definitely the worst episode by far alongside TPOT 4. Everything was just off. The only good thing about this episode was the beginning of the Puffball arc, but most importantly, it was a boring episode. Like, I definitely found it the least entertaining by far. Maybe it's just me hating on these two episodes, but TPOT 3 and 4 just doesn't fit in with the rest of the episodes for me. But TPOT 4 was slightly better than TPOT 3, so it will go in C tier. Now in TPOT 5 we escaped this chain of bad episodes, and honestly this was quite a good episode, and I'm not sure how to properly explain it, but it just felt simple and it honestly stood out to me compared to the rest of the episodes. I'm not gonna rank it down due to the two losing teams which had two amazing characters leave, so I will put it in a tier with TPOT 2. Now we move on to the first meetup episode, and it was something. I think the main area of conversation when talking about this is the spoilers, which other than the elimination I managed to avoid, but in terms of episode it was alright. Other than the Puffball and Golf Ball arc ending, there is not much to say, and honestly the spoilers bring this episode down a lot and the episode couldn't make up for it, so I'm afraid I'm gonna have to put it in C tier. Not good enough to be with the others, but not bad enough to be with TPOT 3. Next up we have TPOT 7, which I would say is the halfway mark for episodes getting better, but it actually is the halfway mark anyway. I quite enjoyed this episode, especially the challenge, and am glad they had some actual backstory that fit in with the plot. This was also where Fanny became one of my favorite characters, and the foreshadowing to TPOT 9 was great. However, those are all just minor things, so I can't put it higher than B. Well, for TPOT 8, other than Death Pact again getting nerfed like crazy and the callback to the first beat challenge ever over 13 years later was great, and of course TPOT survived off a technicality. Also Eraser development. This episode was basically Season 1 Episode 1A but in 2023, and I love how they did it. Now we move on to one of my favorite episodes in the whole franchise, that being TPOT 9. Like, I did not expect to wake up one morning and see TPOT having a zombie apocalypse pillow going on a killing spree. Was even more horror than the episode already had, and I'm sad Teardrop went out, but honestly it would happen eventually, and I'm glad they made her go out on her own terms, and on good terms with Eraser indirectly setting up a new arc with him and Bottle later down the line. Definitely a free S. Now it's time for a nightmare of an episode. Get it? Anyway, you can tell the writing is getting much better recently, as TPOT 10 the challenge was quite good. Are You OK's parts made me laugh, and I think Death Pact again and the S arcs were closed perfectly alongside a new one opening here. I do think I'll put it in B though. Well, now we reach the Exeter's time to shine, and most of us predicted a debut, but quite a bit of people did not see a whole episode coming. I think seeing a lot of the characters again was great, and I think they were done perfectly. Not even characters like David were done badly, and possibly even done better. The ending was hilarious though. And last but not least, TPOT 12, our most recent episode, and first of all they really need to stop the meetups. The spoilers for this episode were crazy, but I survived most of the important spoilers other than the team swap. However, everything else about this episode was able to make up for it, with finally giving one important roles, the team swap, the Exeter debuts, and all the new character arcs going on. This episode is definitely one of the best and is getting an S tier. Anyway, that'll be all for this tier list. And don't forget to subscribe. If we reach 200 we can move on to bigger goals. Goodbye for now.